Hey guys, it's Alina here, and today's video is all about New Year's resolutions. So in this video, I'm going to help you guys pick a resolution, give you tips on how to keep your resolution, and also I'll share my New Year's resolutions with you guys, and there might be a surprise somewhere in this video. So if you're interested in learning more about New Year's resolutions and all of that, be sure to keep watching. So I have kind of a love-hate relationship with New Year's resolutions. I'm a huge fan of setting goals, but being that I spent a couple years teaching healthy eating, I am no stranger to lofty goals and kind of guiding people along the peaks and valleys, let's say. And also for myself, having set goals, met them, not met them, I can kind of share my experience. Basically, when it comes to New Year's resolutions, I hate that they're called New Year's resolutions because I feel like a resolution can start at any point of the year. It's really just a goal. And I feel setting a New Year's resolution only in the new year is kind of not productive. I feel like if you, for whatever reason, fail at that goal, you kind of just give up until the following new year. And I don't think that's really a good goal, because that basically means that for however many years that you live, you're just setting goals at the beginning of the year, and that doesn't make sense. Let's say you come up with a goal in September. Does it really make sense to wait until January to really dive into it? No, you should do it while you're motivated and you're excited about it, because honestly, time destroys excitement. My biggest tip for choosing a New Year's resolution is to not necessarily immediately just write out a list of all the things you want to do. Lose 15 pounds, grow 5 inches. I mean, don't start with listing that. First, just take a moment and think about your life overall, and just think about a couple different ways you wish your life could improve or you could improve. So again, we're not focusing on what the actual task will be. For example, so let's say that your overall goal is you want to be healthier. Maybe you want to slim down a little bit, maybe you want to eat better, but your overall goal is just to be healthier, feel better. By having that overall idea, it gives you a big umbrella to work with, because health has so many different aspects. It's exercise, it's really what your weight is. You know, if you're overweight, that's not healthy. So that kind of ties in with the potential to lose weight. What you're eating, if you're drinking enough water, if you're sleeping, what your mental health is like, if you have too much anxiety, all of that ties into overall health. So by choosing that overall idea and the overall improvement that you want to make, you can choose realistic goals under that. And if for whatever reason life gets in the way and that resolution is no longer feasible, then you can choose another resolution to kind of still be in that realm. So the point is to keep working towards that overall idea. So if it's health, being healthier, it's unrealistic to say,
my New Year's resolution is I want to be healthy, I'm going to drink 8 cups of water every single day, I'm going to sleep 8 hours every night, I'm going to go to the gym every day, I'm going to do this and do that.
It's not realistic. So focus on one of those and tackle it. Once you've mastered it, then you can add another one. Or like I said, if life gets in the way, for example, let's say you break your foot. It's a little more difficult to get a good workout in at the gym. So if you can't exercise and that was like your goal and what you were doing to get healthier, well then switch over and focus on what you're eating. Maybe eat healthier foods, maybe focus on getting 8 hours of sleep every night, all of that kind of stuff. Again, I want to emphasize, the key is setting realistic goals for yourself. So, for example, in my case, when I joined the gym this past summer, I went in with a realistic idea. I rejoined the gym because they had these particular group classes that I wanted to take. And so my gym membership is around $30 a month. Most studios that have those group classes that charge per class, they charge $15 to $20 per class. So the way that I looked at it is that if I went to 2 classes a month, bare minimum, it pays for my membership. And so it doesn't feel like a waste, and I'm also not putting crazy amounts of pressure on myself saying that I'm going to go to the gym 20 days a week when I hadn't gone in years. So it's all about being realistic. So if you're someone that hasn't gone to the gym in years, don't be that person that's like, I'm going to go to the gym every single day and goes to the gym every single day for the first week, and then it's just like, this is not sustainable. It's much better to be consistent and start small, because what'll happen, and what happened to me, is I set the bar so low for myself that I was constantly like trying to beat that and go more. And also once you go, you feel the benefits of it. You feel better, your clothes start to fit better, all of that. So that positive reinforcement has already happened. But if you kind of start with the whole, I have to go every single day, like, it makes it even more unpleasant and you're unlikely to go. And then if you miss a day, you'll be thinking, well, I already messed up my resolution. Versus, let's say your resolution is to go twice a month to the gym. That's definitely doable. And you know, if you get those 2 times out right away in that first week, then everything else is bonus. So it kind of just seems more positive. For whatever reason, that works really well with me. You might be the kind of person that loves to have crazy goals, but it's not always the best thing, especially when you know yourself. Unless you're someone that loves to exercise, it's probably not going to be something that you want to do every single day. So it's like, again, as long as you're working towards that overall goal, which, you know, if it's to be healthier or whatever, that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on the steps that you're making towards it, not the fact that you haven't made it there yet, you know? The next thing I wanted to talk about has some conflicting views among people talking about resolutions. So I've been hearing a lot of people say that you shouldn't tell people what your resolutions are, what your goals are, and some people say that you should. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. So for me, I feel like it depends on the goal and it also depends on the person. So me, for example, when I tell people what I'm doing or what I'm planning on doing, or I make a video or something like that, which is also why I'm sharing my resolutions with you guys towards the end of this video, I feel much more inclined to doing it, because it's not that I don't want to let somebody down, because most of the goals are for myself. I don't know, I guess it gives me like more shame if I don't do it or stick with it, you know what I mean? If one of you guys were to ask about it, I want to be able to say, yes, I've been doing it, you know? If I didn't tell people what my goals are or what I'm up to, it's a lot easier for me to not get it done, especially since I'm most of the time alone. If nobody knows that I'm trying to go to the gym more, nobody's seeing me, and my dogs are not telling anybody. Also, there is some advantage to telling people about certain goals. For example, if you tell a friend who's really into exercise that your resolution is to go to the gym twice a month, it's a lot easier to do those kinds of things when you have a buddy, because that person will be saying, hey, I'm going to the gym at 5, do you want to go? And you kind of feel like, I don't want to call it pressure, but it is kind of pressure, and you're more likely to go. Also, if you're trying to save money or you're trying not to spend as much money, if you go to the mall with, you know, the person that you told, they're going to remind you of those goals. And you know what? You're going to hate it. You're going to totally hate it. But it's more than likely going to keep you accountable, at least when you're around that person. Now, if you're someone that doesn't get motivated by having other people know, then I would say keep it to yourself. But at least for me, when I tell people about it, it's definitely more productive. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is, again, don't get discouraged. If you find at some point that you've set too high of a goal for yourself, or something that's just not going to work anymore, again, like I said, like if you broke your foot and your goal was to exercise more, find other ways to accomplish your overall goal. That's why I say it's so important to identify what that overall goal is. So I'm going to share with you guys my overall goals and what my resolutions are for this year. Some of you guys already know some of them because I was mentioning them through Vlogmas. If you haven't subscribed to my vlog channel, I will link it somewhere below, above, somewhere. So definitely subscribe to that because you can help keep me accountable to these things. So my overall goals: healthier lifestyle. Some of you guys know I'm going through a health thing, plus my dog Hugo was just recently diagnosed with cancer. I also talk about that on my vlog channel. So we need some healthy in this house. Another one of my overall goals is to be more minimal. I don't want to say become a minimalist because that's not going to happen. I love makeup and all that too much, but just acquire less and continue to get rid of things. So we see how it's very vague. Becoming more minimal can really encompass a lot of different things. And the last one is something that I tend to focus on every single year, which is to challenge myself. I'm the kind of person that tends to get bored very easily if I'm not challenged. So that's why I've taken college classes for fun. I love to learn. I've taught myself how to use this camera and other cameras and, filming and editing and all of that stuff. I just love to learn and I love to challenge myself. So my specific goals that I'm starting off with: going to the gym 4 times a month, which is realistic. Notice I say 4 times a month and I don't say once a week, because there might be a week where I can't go and I don't want to feel discouraged. So as long as I make it to the 4 times a month, I can go 4 times in 1 week and get it out of the way. Hey, that might be a good thing. But it's just a way to get me back in there without feeling overwhelmed. I also want to list 10 items a week on eBay. This one might seem like a lot for people, but I've been selling on eBay for so long that I can list items pretty quickly. And I've already been collecting the items. So it's kind of just a way of pushing myself to get these items listed so that I can sell them and make money. And like I mentioned, Hugo, my dog, has cancer and his treatment is crazy expensive, like to the point that you guys asked me to do a GoFundMe because it's just crazy and it's every single week. He has chemo every single week. So it's even more to my benefit to get rid of the things that I was planning on getting rid of. 10 items a week might seem like a lot to people, but there was a point where I was listing a lot of items and I would list 10 items on every single day's to-do list. And I would do it every single day, and it helped me kind of get those items listed. But because I know the other things that I have going on, I don't want to overwhelm myself and kind of get bogged down in it. If I list 10 items a week, that's 520 items by the end of the year. Granted, I'll probably list more, and the goal is to just keep listing until I don't have anything else. But let me tell you, I have a lot of items, especially because I just cleaned out my closets, and I've been decluttering my makeup collection. The other goal I have is to make each holiday special for my dogs, even Groundhog's Day. And this is something that I did with my previous dog. My previous dog also had a cancer, and she was kind of given only 3 to 4 months to live is what they told us. So really, we made every single day special, but this was also in the fall, so every holiday was made special. And I definitely want to do that also for my dogs. We get so bogged down with the day-to-day that we don't really take the time to make things special. So when we're faced with something like this, we have the opportunity to make the most of it. And that's what I'm going to be doing with my dogs. I also have a resolution that I've had for the past several years, and that is to wash my face every night, no matter what. That's a resolution I've actually kept. I'll explain how I've kept it. So I've read up so much about how bad it is to sleep with your makeup on, or even just to do like a baby wipe, which is what I used to do like a few years ago. I used to just say, you know what, I'll just baby wipe it. I'm too tired. But no, regardless of how tired I am, how sick I am or whatever, I wash my face every single night to take my makeup off. Or like even if I haven't put makeup on, I still wash my face to take off the day. There have been times where I am just so tired, or like maybe I've gone out and I've had a little to drink and I'm just back home and I just don't want to do it. But I have an inner conversation with myself and I say, don't do it. This is so gross. Your pillow's gonna be gross. It's gonna get all over your hair. In my mind, like the makeup particles and the oil and all that stuff. And I basically talk myself into doing it. And I keep telling myself, it's super quick. It could be super fast. Just do it. It's less than a minute. Just do it. That seems to work for me.